What's up, everybody? It's Glenn back with Big Jack with a Bears recap and preview video. Recapping the Bears' exciting, uh, stressing win over the Cincinnati Bengals and looking forward to this upcoming game against the New York Football Giants. We start by looking back at the game against the Bengals. Bears win 47-42, if I remember correctly on that score. Exhilarating game, stressful game. It looked like with a couple minutes left, the Bears had put the Bengals away, only for the Bengals to score 2 touchdowns in short manner, including an onside kick recovery off the foot of Daniel Hardy. Looking like then maybe the Bears were either going to lose that game or have to pull off a late game field goal to win it and not cover the spread. But Colston Loveland catches a deep seam pass from Caleb Williams, bounces off a couple would-be tacklers, and finds his way in an unlikely end zone to score a touchdown, get the Bears a W, and cover the spread, which was beautiful. Initial thoughts from me, Jack, before I throw it over to you, is continue to be very pleased about the offensive side of the ball, continue to be very, very pleased about our head coach and how he handled some of the different time management situations in that game specifically. Continue to be very, very unhappy and concerned about the defensive side of the ball. What are your initial thoughts?
Initial thoughts are that the Bears defense is horrifically bad and the Bengals defense is worse.
Yeah.
That's what I take away mostly from that game. I mean, that's a game we'll never forget for certainly. You know, I don't know about you. I was just watching by myself and I sort of found myself like stupefied. I don't know, mystified. I don't know what the adjective is, but like when they got the onside kick and I was just like, I don't even know if I was mad. I don't know what I was. I was just kind of like, wow, this is really going to happen. And then, you know, they found a way to get it done. To your point about Ben Johnson, love what I'm seeing from him. The fact that he, you know, you don't ever want to say you don't have confidence in a certain side of the ball, but you know, I love his sort of sticking his neck out and calling those timeouts when Cincinnati had the ball because he, you know, it was hey, you know, if we do let him in, I'm going to make sure we got a chance. And, you know, you haven't always seen that sort of strategy in Chicago. So I think, to your point, very pleased with where we're at with the head coach. And I also think it was another game with the arrow pointing up, you know, for Caleb Williams as well. Like I said, defense is terrible. Still miss some things here and there. But time and time again, man, you put the ball in that kid's hands with a chance to tie or win a football game, and he has yet to fail. And, you know, I think he's starting to really show some growth week in and week out. Like we've talked about in the past, it's never going to be linear. It's never going to just be, you know, the constant upward trajectory. But I think given where we're at today, versus, you know, week one of his rookie season, I think you're lying to yourself or you're just a hater or whatever if you cannot see the growth and the potential still to come in that young man.
Couldn't agree more. Happy with what I'm seeing from Caleb. Really happy with what I'm seeing from the offensive line as a whole, the run game as well. Everything that we're happy about on the offensive side of the ball. We do have to throw out the asterisk that was against the Bengals defense, which is probably the worst in the league. It seems like from everything I'm seeing, Bengals, Cowboys, Bears are like 3 of the worst units in the league, at least in my opinion. So there is that little bit of asterisk, but man, Kyle Benunga running hard. Those guys are blocking well. Better in the run game than the pass game, but still pretty good in the pass as well. Caleb sacks are way down. Seemingly to me, the only things on the offensive side of the ball where there's any room left for desire right now is Rome Odunze contested catches, completion percentage, and you know, I don't know what else. Maybe doing it a couple times against some actually decent defenses. You know, but with that being said, we're on to this week where the Giants front is definitely decent. You got Brian Burns, who leads the league in sacks, along with a couple other dudes up front. And they bring Jackson Dart to town, who has seemed to inject some energy and life into that Giants offense. You know, I'm not going to pretend like this Giants defense is awesome. Their secondary leaves a lot to be desired for Giants fans. There's maybe still some room for the Bears to attack this Giants defense in certain ways. Any initial thoughts as we head to home, I guess, to Chicago to take on these Giants.
Yeah, I think the top of mind is the point you made about their front. Their defense is horrible against the run. It actually is worse than the Bengals. It's the worst in the
Really?
NFL.
Okay.
Yeah, and but Burns is leading in sacks. That's something you have to be cognizant of. You certainly don't want to find yourself, in a situation where you have to become one-dimensional and you're playing from behind and allowing them to pin their ears back, because they'll absolutely get after you. But no, it's a game you have to win. It's a 2-7 team. You got to take care of business at home at Soldier Field on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Bears 5-3. You get to 6-3, you start really open your eyes up to some possibilities here in the second half of the season. I'm excited. I think it's a game that is winnable, and with that, we're going to turn to look at your keys to a Bears victory. You're going to lay out the path for the Bears to get this win that we must have here at home. Jack, what's your first key to a Bears victory?
I think we'll start right there with kind of just how you wrap that up by saying at home. I think key number one for me this week is, taking advantage of home field. I hope everyone who's in the building on Sunday gets behind them. I know it's going to be kind of shitty weather. It's going to be football weather, baby. And, I feel like good teams in this league, maybe you win about half your games on the road and you take care of business at home. And that's how you find yourself in that 11, 12, 13 win area. The Bears have been decent on the road as of late. They got to get it done at home. To that end, the Giants haven't won a road game in their last 10, I want to say. They're bad on the road. They're not beating anybody. You better not let them beat you. You better not be the one to break that streak. You got to defend home field and get out of there with a win. This is a game you got to have, man. I know, it's kind of fun to be in these positions, but you really are now with the way that schedule closes out. It's a gauntlet, and you can't let these ones slip past, because you don't know what those opportunities are going to look like down the line. And 6-3, you're in the driver's seat. It's another win against a NFC opponent, which all matters for tiebreakers and that sort of thing. So yeah, you can't take this one lightly. Home field, got to defend it and get it done on Sunday. It's going to be a big piece of this whole equation.
Yeah, man, I love that key, especially against a rookie quarterback. Make some things loud, make it tough for them to communicate on the offensive side of the ball. Also, like along the lines of home field, our surface is like notably like not the greatest. Like maybe that kind of works in our advantage. I don't know what kind of shenanigans they're pulling, but I think that's a big key, is protect the house, get that decisive home field advantage. Key number 2.
The Giants, Jackson Dart, I don't know. I used to smoke him. He likes to run. Maybe the field will mess with his legs. Key number 2, I am going to go with, I get the whole Ben Johnson thing. It's part of his shtick. He's going to have these unique plays that he doesn't even like to refer to as trick plays. This week, a key for me is honestly none of that bullshit, man. No gimmicks. This defense can't stop the run. The Bears have been the best rushing offense since coming out of the bye. The way that the adjustments they've made, they've been dominant. The way they're scheming it. Don't get cute. You don't need to. I don't want any gimmicks. I don't need a stupid turnover that flips the game because you're trying to outdumb the room. Just fucking run it down their throats all day long and just beat the hell out of them. And I think you get out of there, with the easy win, honestly. Stick to the run. Just pound the rock all day long. Keep letting Monangai tote it. I thought it was funny. DeAndre Swift's dealing with this injury, and then Monangai goes out and puts up a buck, 30, whatever it was, and all of a sudden Swift's feeling healthy as could possibly be. He's good to go. So they're going to have their full litany of backs out there. And like I said, no gimmicks, run it right at them. They can't stop you.
I love it. Me and you, we text back and forth during these games, and yeah, like that Philly special worked against the Bengals and maybe like kind of broke this tough red zone stretch that we were having offensively, but just feel like it's not going to work against good defenses. And, you'd like to just operate a little bit more vanilla, I guess, for lack of a better word, and just dominate, just beat the guy in front of you. I like that key. Let's not get too cute. Let's not overthink it. Let's just beat the guys in front of us and get out of there with a victory. Key number 3.
Third and final key. This is like a true definition of week on week. Our secondary is trash right now. And maybe that's a little unfair. Bayard and Brisker are still doing some decent things on the back end of that defense, but the corner position specifically is atrocious in their lack of ability to cover a damn thing out there. And the Giants have no one who can catch the ball. They have no receivers who are worth about anything, in my opinion, with all the injuries they're dealing with. I think you just have to win that battle. You have to win be the less of the weaker links, if you will. I think that's going to be a huge piece of it with the rookie quarterback like Jackson Dart on the road, who showed he could play well on the road. He played great in that Denver game before the sort of collapse that they had. And I think if you kind of force them to do some things with the run game themselves rather than letting them beat you with the pass the way that Cincinnati did, I think you'll put yourself in a better position. Shortened fields. You're sneezing in the background. Unbelievable, man. Shit's just unbelievable. Get it together.
Tell Mrs. Burchett I said bless you. But
holy shit, man.
Yeah, I think it's a great key. It's week on week. It's Bears cornerback depth right now, or lack thereof, with their best couple out, their best two cornerbacks out, versus the Giants wide receiver core without Malik Neighbors. It is two pretty terrible.
I mean, fuck's sake, take a Zyrtec or something, man.
It's two pretty terrible units, and you'd like to think that the Bears can win that battle. The Bears cornerbacks can win that battle against the Giants wide receivers. But I'll take it like a step further. Like, just don't get embarrassed. Don't make these guys look like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Just make them work a little bit, the Bears defense looks so bad, especially at the cornerback position last week. Just do better against this lackluster Giants receiver core. All right. Jack's 3 keys. Take advantage of that home field advantage and really use that to your advantage. That's a lot of advantages. Key number 2, don't get cute. The trick plays, whatever you want to call them, I guess they have their time and place. But this week against this team, just find a way to just beat them without getting too cute. Key number 3, Bears cornerbacks versus Giants receivers and pass catchers. Pretty abysmal matchup on both sides. Don't lose that matchup. All right, Jack. Initial thoughts. It sounds like from what you were saying in the keys that you think the Bears get out of here with a victory, move to 6-3. What are your thoughts on that?
I do. Yeah. You can't. I mean, if you're serious at all, which, I'm really starting to believe that this team is, I do think things are quite a bit different. And that's not to say you can't lose any game any week. The Packers just lost to the Panthers, right, at home. They were 14-point favorite. The Bears are 4.5-point favorite. It's not even that wide of a margin, but I think they find a way to get it done. I do think it'll be competitive. I don't think they're really going to dominate the game the way that I'd hope they will, but I don't know. There's a part of me that thinks if they really stick to the run game, Ben Johnson's a hell of a lot smarter than I am, so I'm sure he's thinking kind of the same thing, if not something more intelligent. I like them to come out of this game by at least a touchdown. So I'm not backing them. I feel like maybe it's a little emotion involved, but I got to think, they get out of here in like a, hopefully the defense has an ounce of pride. I'd like to see like a 31-21 ball game, something in that ballpark.
You were more spot on with your prediction than I was last week. We both picked Bears winners, but you picked a higher scoring game. It was even higher than you thought. Man, on paper, I like the Bears to get this win, but this is just one of those games where it's like, can the Bears actually get to 6-3, or is 5-4 sound more like the truth? Unfortunately, it sounds to me like 5-4 sounds more like the truth. So I hope I'm wrong, but I'd love for the Bears to get a win. I do think they can win, especially if they follow your keys to a victory. We'll see. I don't think I'd go as far. What's the spread right now? 4.5 or 5?
4.5, yeah.
I don't know if I'd go that far to back the Bears this week against the spread, but I do think they got a chance to get out of here with a victory. All right. Any final thoughts as we head towards this weekend and this game?
No. Need to get out of need to get the win. Make sure Francesa's over in New York just crying about the Giants.
Yeah, man. Got to get a win if you want any hope at the playoffs. So let's hope the Bears go out, find a way to get a victory, and we'll be celebrating next week. All right. If you're new here, like and subscribe, hit the bell. We'll be back with more videos next week. Hopefully we're celebrating a Bears win and another parlay hitting on the best bets video. Jack, hit it for him one time.
Bears.